Now we just complete one run of simulation. Turns out that the weekly profit is 1900. Next, our real question is to find out the abnormal order quantity such that this is maximized. To do that, first we need to make this simulation alive by using rand for those random numbers. And now I press F9, I see number changes every time, but my total profit seems to be stay the same. That's because, as you can see, we consistently sell out inventory every week. If we order a larger number, you will see that the profit changes every time. But then we encounter the problem here. Well, the simulation gives you a different profit every time. And in the end, I need to try out different order quantity, and every run of simulation of every order quantity give me different numbers. How can I determine what is the profit I should use to compare the performance for different order quantities? Well, the way we to do it is to generate many simulation runs and using the average of the total profit as a performance measure for an order quantity. Okay, let's for example, ordering 600. I'm going to generate 20 runs of simulation. 20 is a little bit arbitrarily, just for illustration. And for every run of simulation, I want Excel to report the total profit and store them here. The way you tell Excel is this. Well, over here, I do n equal to this cell. That will tell Excel later on, please fill in those cells with this number. Okay, now I am going to use one-way data table. Go to data, what if analysis, data table. Okay, I'm going to here, column input cell, I'm going to point to any empty cell in the spreadsheet that doesn't do anything. What will happen is this. Excel will find that, okay, there are 20 runs of simulation need to be performed. For each run, for the first run, it will take this number, plug it into this cell, and run the simulation and report the number here back here. In the second run, it will plug this number 2 into this cell, run the simulation, report the total profit over here, so on and so forth. So apparently you can see that plugging numbers into this cell doesn't do anything. Well, that's our goal, because those numbers, they don't mean anything. They are simply index numbers. Okay, so now we click on OK, and here's the magic. Okay, well then we can calculate the average profit. Okay, every profit out of 20 runs of simulation is simply average. Okay. Change the format. Okay, so now you can see that the variation in every profit is smaller than the variation over here. Okay, so we can use the number over here to kind of to compare. We can use the every profit for different order quantity to compare their performance and see which one is the best. To that end, we need to use two-way data table because we want to conduct 20 runs of simulation for many different possible order quantities. So I'm going to do that here. Okay, again, let's say for every order quantity, I'm going to run 20 runs of simulation. So this is again the index for ordering quantity for the simulation run. Here in this row, I'm going to plug in the possible order quantities, starting from say 200. Okay, this company can order in multiples of hundreds, so that means you can order 200 or 300 or 400 and so on and so forth. Let's say we do it all the way to 700. Okay, in the end, I want Excel to use data table to fill in the profit for every possible combination of order quantity here, and this is the index for simulation run. For example, I want you to store here the total profit from the second simulation run when ordering 200 per week. Okay, how can we tell Excel that the total profit is something we want you to report over here? Well, you do it by here in this cell. You do equal to here. So you point this cell into here, so that Excel knows, well, that's the number you want it to report. Okay, so this is a way to set up two-way data table. Now let's select this whole range. You need to make sure that this cell is on the upper left corner in this table. Go to what if analysis, data table. Now, row input cell is this order quantity. Column input cell is again any empty cell that doesn't do anything. So again, what happens here is that, well, Excel will take the number of first row, plugging them one by one into here, and then plugging those numbers 1 through 20 one by one into here. So for every combination of the number in the column and the row, it will run a simulation and report the total profit. Okay, that's what we need. All right, so here are the results. So let's now calculate average profit again. So average profit out of 20 simulations. Let's change the format to dollars. Okay. And now let's see. I'm going to do a little trick to highlight the highest profit. I'm going to do this. Conditional formatting, top bottom rules, top 10. Okay, change it to top 1. Okay, it will highlight the highest number. Okay, so ordering 400 is the best decision. Now I'm going to press F9. Okay, whenever I press F9, new result comes up. But well, although the number here, the profit changes, but the upload decision doesn't change. It's always 400. So I can conclude that ordering 400 per week actually would maximize the company's weekly profit.